Stromboli ravioli. Welcome to the podcast.
Holy.
Welcome everyone to an epic smash cast.
An epic smash 'em up.
You just kind of like shrug that one off.
Well, I mean, that was your least effort into a Stromboli ravioli. Welcome.
Yeah, you were not excited about that.
I was excited about it. I just did not display it on my person.
It's very odd because I don't think I've ever had Stromboli, but I know I don't like pasta, so I wouldn't enjoy that.
Stromboli is a pasta.
What I have with me here...
Stromboli is pretty much a calzone.
Brit and Sam. Stromboli's a calzone?
Stromboli.
Why is it not called a calzone?
Because it's not technically a calzone. It's like it's similar to a calzone. There's pizza stuff inside of it, and it's dough. It's not pasta.
If Ryan were here, he'd be saying, video games,
That
guys.
doesn't sound that bad. All right, here with me, I have Brit.
Yes, this is.
From AteBrit.
Yeah.
And Sam.
Hey.
From BreakfastAndTheFurious.
Hey.
He's just watching the audio spike.
I was looking at it.
I ain't editing this.
Okay, every time. That's why the last time we tried recording didn't get posted, because Brit said, nope, no way. Nope.
Well, I could try to sync it, because we didn't... Let's just not talk about it, because we might be able to salvage that.
No, it's gone. It's gone forever. It's
You
gonna
deleted it?
It'll be a lost episode maybe in the future, so look out for that.
Did you even try to sync it, David?
It was so long.
It was a lot. Well,
That's why we're redoing the whole format here. Okay, so today's topic, we actually are having favorite franchises or video game franchises.
Subway.
Do we tell
Eat Fresh?
Do we tell people who our characters are?
Oh no,
yeah,
not yet.
Not yet. We're not
Not
doing
yet.
it.
Okay.
No, I mean not yet. We haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
We will right now.
It's a big reveal.
At this moment,
Sam,
we have Sam
and Pikachu.
I'm Pink Alf. I picked a kind of a.
Oh god.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
yeah, an alien life force going on there. I decided, you know what? I love frogs, so I'll be Lucario. And
Of course.
Ryan, we gave Jigglypuff with a flower. So,
That's what you get for not being here, Ryan. Did you ask him to be here? You just.
no.
No.
But Ryan said he's not available except for on Wednesdays, and today is a morn day. So,
Today's
It's
Sunday.
it's a
you
what?
Fucker. And it's
A morn day?
It's Morndas if you're going from the Elder Scrolls.
I'm sorry.
Sundas. It's Sundas.
Speaking of Elder Scrolls, that's a really good video game franchise.
That is my favorite franchise.
It's a very good franchise. We're talking about our favorite video game franchises.
Blat motherfuckers.
Crazy motherfucking name Ice Cube.
I would have to say that my favorite franchise would be the Bubsy series.
Right.
Oh, come on, David. We all know that's not true.
You had Bubsy.
Come the fuck on, David!
That's that.
Bubsy 2 is classic. Bubsy 3D for the PlayStation. You can actually play that for YouTube. It says it on the channel.
It says it on their website. On the website.
On
the
their
official
website.
Bubsy 3D website says YouTube can play for money.
Yes, that's the only time that website has ever been updated.
The only video game that YouTube is technically allowed to play for money.
Yeah, yes. So
Bubsy 3D.
if
Get on that.
If you're making content, get that Bubsy 3D.
Yeah. Little known fact about me: Bubsy 3D was the first 3D game I played.
Why?
Because we didn't have a PS1 when it came out. We rented it from Blockbuster because you used to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that it had Bubsy, and I played Bubsy for the Genesis so much. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm doing it. It scared the fuck out of me. Like, that third dimension was... I was probably about 4 or 5 when I played it. And I couldn't read, so I didn't know what was going on. It just hit me, and it was so overwhelming. I'll never forget that moment. Because I was like, I can go... There's infinite directions in which I can go, and I don't like it.
My first 3D game was actually one of my top 10 at least favorite series was the first Metal Gear Solid.
Boom.
That was my first 3D game.
That game scared me too.
That game's terrifying for a young child.
I think I've told this story before, but I used to have VR missions. That was the first Metal Gear Solid game I played was VR missions. And at the title screen, if you let it play, it shows a trailer from MGS1, and it's in Japanese, and it's like characters dying and like convulsing and shit, and it's like, and it's playing like this sad like Metal Gear Solid 1 music, and it fucking scared me as a kid. But yeah,
I remember I would let Metal Gear Solid 2 sit at the menu sometimes, because if you let it sit for a while, it would go into that trailer, and it would play the credit music that da 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 da.
Hey, maybe Kirby.
Yeah.
I like you were going a little. You folks at home cannot see, but he was doing like the kind of hardcore like mic holding like like flinching at the crowd, you know.
And then the end was my favorite because it would be the with the drums with the slow like in the background.
Yeah.
Really like The Legend of Zelda.
I know you do.
And we know.
Yeah.
We're fully aware.
Would you say that's your favorite though?
I mean,
It's probably your most
in
played
terms
at
of-
least.
because I was thinking about it, I was like, I really love Kirby, but the ratio of games in the franchise to games played, Zelda, I would have Zelda over that.
Is there a Zelda game you haven't played?
Well, I haven't played the Oracle games.
Really?
That was the first one.
I have them, but I just haven't played
Seasons,
them.
I think, was my first Zelda game.
I had the red one.
And
whichever one.
Spirit
That was
Tracks.
Seasons.
Spirit
you haven't
Tracks
played Seasons?
sucks.
Spirit
Yeah.
Tracks is fucking awful.
No. Yeah.
Because
Phantom Hourglass is the good DS one. Spirit Tracks is not good.
Spirit Tracks.
Phantom Hourglass is the good DS one.
Yeah.
That's the reason I haven't played Spirit Tracks, is because that game's terrible.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks is bad.
Yeah.
The opening, I complain about every Zelda game. Too long of a tutorial for every single one, even the ones I like Wind Waker. Fucking way too long for a tutorial.
Right.
For shit that it is an intuitive game.
That's why I liked. Link to the Past doesn't have a tutorial at all. It just kind of sets you up with it. One character tells you which button to press to swing your sword.
Yeah.
Link Between Worlds is like that too.
Link Between Worlds had too much tutorial for being a sequel to A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
But not too much tutorial for a Zelda
still
game.
super speedy.
Yeah.
Compared to modern Zelda games, it was not
Because
bad at all.
as soon as it started tutorializing, I was like, no, don't do that. But it was quick. It was there, which annoyed me, but it wasn't something I had to sit through.
Yeah.
Because
I was gonna just cut in before I forget. Spirit Tracks, not even joking. The very beginning is at least 30 to 40 minutes of just dialogue, and that is before the tutorial.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's skipping. That is not listening. It is me furiously I don't do it.
So which would be worse, Spirit Tracks or Black 2?
Which one I wouldn't want to play?
Yeah, if you were in a room and there were two DS games in front of you, and one of them was Spirit Tracks, the other was Pokemon Black 2. Which one would you pick up?
I would probably play Black.
Crush or play?
I would play Black 2.
And then you would crush
Yeah.
Spirit. Okay.
I would have to, because that's all that Spirit Tracks is fucking holding your hand. At least in Black 2, there was gaps between the stupid ass dialogue and shit that you can actually do shit. Hated that game. Spit on that game.
I've never played them.
Don't play Black or Black 2 or White or White 2.
I played Black.
Yeah.
I liked Black.
It's just too much narrative that was not interesting. They forced it.
Yeah.
They were. I see what they were trying. It was a goofy game. I see what they were trying to do with that whole thing with N. N is the one that was in that, and Gestus and all the Sages guys.
Yeah.
The green-haired guy.
Yeah, the
Right.
dudes that... Yeah.
That and you're questioning
They're
whether or not Pokemon should be used as.
Yeah, that was the
Tools.
bad guys were the guys like PETA,
Yeah.
pretty much.
The thing I like about Pokemon games is the same thing I like about the first Final Fantasy game, and that's the subtle narrative.
Yeah.
No. There is something happening in the world around you, but you're more focused on just handling task right now. collecting Pokemon, taking names.
You're absorbed by the gameplay, but the narrative is still there.
And then there's like this bad organization that you're like, okay, they're kind of bad, but I've got my personal goal, got to beat that Elite Four.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then you get in it, and you're like, wait a minute.
There's some shady motherfuckers.
There's
some stuff going on right now.
Yeah, inside things going on here, and that's I think that's what's nice about.
I think Heart Gold, Soul Silver were the best narratively. Because it was
I
like
agree.
Team Rocket's gone, but they're coming back, and then Giovanni's back. You know, I don't know if it's ever been confirmed, but your rival and Gold and Silver it's pretty much set in stone that is Giovanni's son, his long lost.
The
son.
red-haired kid.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking cool. Like, I guess there was some like unreleased like story that
They didn't. You want to know? They didn't start getting real heavy-handed with the stories until Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
Because Ruby and Sapphire's story is really heavy-handed, and I played
Omega.
I played Omega or Alpha Sapphire is one that I got, and it's very much
It's boring. I think
it is boring. It's very in your face about the story and like the moral behind the story, and that's bad enough as it is. But after you beat the Elite Four, there's this thing called the Delta episode.
I still haven't done that.
Oh god, it's nothing but story and listening to people talk.
I just want to unlock like all the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it. But it's just so unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go. I think I got lost. But yeah, Pokemon's a franchise that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I like it because I buy all the fucking games every year.
Right.
You know, I think my favorite franchise is probably Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people really like Kingdom Hearts.
I don't.
So I'm not gonna hate on. It's just not.
I mean, it's a valid thing to like it. But
Yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, I suppose. But like I love it.
I think the thing that I don't like about that series is how mismanaged it is. Like, they were waiting for how long for a third game? Was it the third game that they were like, yeah, that's coming out, and then we didn't see it? Or am I thinking of Half-Life?
Well, Half-Life,
Half-Life
they never said.
Half-Life has never like Kingdom Hearts 3 has the distinction of we've been told that it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Valve has not
said one way or
mouth.
another whether or not Half-Life.
They know not to upset their fans.
Right.
Even though I mean, not saying anything, I think is
upsetting. But I think not saying something is better than saying this is coming and then
not delivering.
Well, I think the thing about Valve is that company works so much differently than any other company when it comes to. So there's no one person to be like, yeah, we're definitely working on it, because it's like little pods of people that are working on projects in their divisions. So they could have a side project that everyone goes, oh man, creatively that's going to be a lot more interesting to work on right now than the third part of this game, and then they would be working on that. So I think they definitely aren't pushed by their bosses because they don't have bosses.
Yeah,
because that's the whole point of Valve. Whereas Square would probably, I mean, they've got their president and he's going to say some things.
They said that Tomb Raider was a failure when it first came out.
Yeah, and now they're doing the definitive edition.
Now apparently
they're doing an Xbox exclusive sequel.
Yeah, well, apparently now that the Tomb Raider reboot met the sales goal of like, I guess their original goal was like $5 million in the first quarter it was out. It made $2.5 million, which is it's a lot for a quarter, and for a game like Tomb Raider that came out, I think it came out like this sometime weird, and it was like the best selling game of that quarter, and then Square Enix was like, no, that game was a failure.
Yeah,
like, fuck you don't decide what's a failure. You can see statistically, like, critics loved it, a lot of people bought it for a game when it came out, and they're like, they spent so much on marketing, I think, that they didn't break even. I'm like, that's your own damn fault.
Right.
Don't blame the developer for making a pretty solid game.
I bought that game, I played it was great.
Yeah, I liked it. It made me squeamish. I don't like seeing Lara Croft die.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes me
There's
sad.
this one that was like really like you're going down this weird river, like a river.
Yeah.
And you get impaled in the throat on a stick if you hit it wrong.
I did.
And I
like
was
20
actively
times.
trying to make sure she didn't hit the stick.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it, and it
Yeah.
happened, and it made me real uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's gruesome.
It's a good game though, a really good game.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't like Square Enix.
Well, Kingdom Hearts has always been like, the first Kingdom Hearts came out when I was a child.
Yeah.
Like when I was like a young lad, and it was like I was like, well, I like Final Fantasy and I like Disney. Why don't I play this? And it was just great. And then I just kind of grew up with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had an issue with it because the main games are on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are on DS.
On DS, and it's so weird for a franchise
to be split like that.
To be split like that, and then you also have to play the DS games to get the full concept of what's going on, because there's story that's given to you in the DS games that actually bridges story that takes place in the main games. Yeah. Either they created plot holes and needed to fill them, so they did it in a tiny little DS. I don't know how long the DS games are, but
they're pretty lengthy. The way that they did it was they released the first one, and then Chain of Memories came out for the Game Boy. This was back when the Game Boy was a thing, and that was really the only option you had at the time. So they put it for the Game Boy, and that like bridged the gap between 1 and 2. And then 2 came out, and then they released this one called Coded or something like that.
Coded.
And that was it kind of had some type of plot, explained some stuff like after Kingdom Hearts 2, but it wasn't necessary. And then they came out with 358 Days over 2, and that was on the DS. And that was a prequel to 2, and then they came out with Birth by Sleep, which was on the PSP.
Oh my god, this is more confusing than
it's-
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, and it was a prequel to the whole series. And then they released Dream Drop, which was a sequel to 2. And then 3 is the sequel to Dream Drop.
Yeah, that's confusing and
I
unnecessary.
have no idea.
There's
Didn't their offices burn down and they had to like redo the 2 games for the HD?
I don't know, but it
Yes.
sounds.
Yeah.
I thought
something.
Yeah, that's what
because they lost
they lost it, so they had to rebuild.
because they didn't reskin the game; they completely remade the game for HD, which is cool. But
yeah,
But I a while back I had this podcast that I did a while back, and like something was happening after we recorded the 3rd episode, so I did this episode 3.5 that was just me for an hour talking about the plot of Kingdom Hearts in order from memory.
oh my god,
So that's how much I love Kingdom Hearts.
and there's this cool channel that they subscribed to the Super Virtual Squad out of nowhere, and I checked them out. I think it's like Under Inspired Games, and they have a series on there. I forget what it's called. Oh, it's called Metal Gear School, where it's somebody who's played all the games and he knows everything about it. He's playing, or he pre-records footage of a certain Metal Gear Solid game, like 20 minutes of it, and sits down with somebody who's never played one and just explains everything to him. It's the funniest. He's like, well, you know how you thought that one thing earlier? It's like, well, it's completely wrong. They were lying. And he's like, what? It's so good.
That's pretty much how Kingdom Hearts is.
Yeah.
It's like anybody from the outside looking in on somebody's like knowledge of Metal Gear Solid or Kingdom Hearts.
They're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is
It's like
wrong
some sort of
with
cult.
you?
Same thing with Elder Scrolls. My stepfather saw I have like a pocket guide to the Empire I got with like a collector's edition. He's like, are you in a cult? I'm like, no, it's just info about this made up world.
Yeah.
sure, I sure am. That is what that is.
Yes.
These are my cult maps.
Yep.
This is my cult controller.
Shadow hide you.
We know.
All right, and we're coming to the end of the first part of this podcast segment.
Segmented podcast.
Let's just You're number one.
Kingdom Hearts.
You're number one.
Legend of Zelda.
I'm in Sailor Scrolls.
Okay.
I didn't get to talk about it, but it's obvious why.
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls. Fantastic.
Open-ended.
If you
like
want,
how-
hold on. If you want the other reasons, go watch the previous Smash cast. We've talked about Elder Scrolls on every single one of them. So
we're gonna continue to do so.
See you guys right
It's a
right
thing.
after the break.
Grepsast.
Grep.
Grep.
Ambidastors.